What would happen if Kim Jong-un, the totalitarian president of North Korea, were to unexpectedly die? From political uncertainty to international implications, let's delve into a comprehensive and captivating analysis of the potential challenges and changes that could arise in an uncertain future. Additionally, we'll address the most delicate issue: North Korea's impressive nuclear arsenal. Get ready for a fascinating journey through the possible repercussions of this situation in a country shrouded in mystery and absolute dictatorial control. Join us as we discover together what would happen if this scenario were to unfold in the enigmatic setting of North Korea. In the global political landscape, one name stands out for its aura of mystery and absolute power: Kim Jong-un, the enigmatic leader of North Korea. Descendant of a dynasty that has dominated the country for generations, Jong-un emerges as a figure both polarizing and fascinating. Born between 1983 and 1984, the exact dates of his birth are still a subject of speculation, adding to this mysterious character an even greater aura of secrecy. Raised in a family marked by personality cult and totalitarian control, from an early age it was evident that he was destined to inherit supreme power. However, his ascent to leadership was not without controversy and doubts about his ability to govern a hermetic country isolated from the world. Let's look at this footage where he is seen playing with a weapon. Since assuming office in 2011 following the death of his father, Kim Jong-il, Jong-un has maintained a cryptic profile and a hardline policy that has kept North Korea in constant tension with the international community. His regime has been characterized by internal repression, the development of nuclear weapons, and the cult of his personality, which extends to all aspects of life in the country. But beyond the propaganda proclamations and military parades, little is known about the intimacy of Kim Jong-un. His personal life is shrouded in secrecy, with scarce and often contradictory details. It is rumored that he is married to Ri Sol-ju, a former singer, and they have at least one child. However, information about his family trickles out slowly and is subject to speculation. On the international stage, Kim Jong-un has been the subject of criticism and condemnation for his authoritarian regime and human rights violations. However, his ability to stay in power and defy external pressures has demonstrated his skill in navigating the turbulent waters of world geopolitics. Despite his image as a relentless and ruthless leader, Kim Jong-un has also shown flashes of pragmatism and diplomacy, engaging in historic summits with world leaders such as Donald Trump and Moon Jae-in. These fleeting moments of openness and dialogue have generated hopes for possible reconciliation on the Korean Peninsula, although uncertainty about the region's future remains a constant. Your profile, marked by opacity and ambiguity, arouses as much fear as intrigue in equal measure. Therefore, imagining what would happen to the Asian nation if unexpectedly you were to lose your life is an exercise as interesting as it is difficult, since the repercussions could be globally impactful. Let's imagine the scenario. Kim Jong-un dies suddenly. Faced with this event, predicting what could happen in the hermetic Asian country is a complex task. Analysts, for good reasons, have stumbled in their attempts to understand the nature of Pyongyang, and the lack of leadership changes in recent history of North Korea only adds more uncertainty to the equation. Despite these challenges, we can find some solace in the fact that the country often follows a pattern established during times of transition. Based on the past, what can be expected? The history of the region is marked by episodes of tensions and disputes, which reinforces the need to be alert to any signs of external intervention at such a delicate moment. the social and political landscape would be in a state of palpable uncertainty. Amid the insularity and authoritarianism inherent in the regime, coupled with international sanctions and economic recession, it would be natural for concerns to arise about whether foreign countries such as South Korea or any of the world powers could exploit the situation during a potential leadership transition. China would be willing to take military initiative on the Korean peninsula. It is often thought that its intervention would be limited to managing refugees along its border, and that any action would be in support of North Korea. However, changes in China's military capabilities, growing concerns about nuclear security, and geopolitical competition with the United States have led in recent years to broaden its focus. It is likely that the Asian giant will undertake extensive military intervention to spread its regional influence in the event of a major conflict in the region. Recent military exercises and statements by its representatives would indicate an intensification in preparations for such intervention. Furthermore, it is likely that the Chinese army would reach North Korea's nuclear facilities before American or South Korean militias due to the country's geographical proximity, the closeness of their barracks, and the possible low resistance of North Korean troops against Chinese forces. They could also have early warning, allowing for advanced preparation and unique opportunities to gather intelligence. The number one priority of the international community would be to ensure the safe elimination of North Korean nuclear weapons and associated facilities. The key strategy to counter North Korea's weapons of mass destruction is to prevent the spread of information and armaments beyond the peninsula to new actors, including terrorist organizations. Evidence demonstrating the Asian nation's nuclear armament is disclosed by the government itself, such as this video, as outrageous as it is impressive, starring none other than Kim Jong-un himself. In a scenario of collapse of the North Korean regime, North America and the Western community would likely seek to establish a cordon sanitaire around the country to prevent nuclear materials from falling into the wrong hands. With an estimated 20 to 60 atomic weapons, in addition to 75 to 320 kilograms of highly enriched uranium and a network of 39 relevant attack points and 49 missile platforms, North Korea's arsenal represents a serious threat to global security. Their advanced projectile technology allows them to attack South Korea, Japan, and potentially even the United States. On multiple occasions, the Eastern government has intimidated these nations with this reckless possibility. In this scenario, Kim Jong-un, or a successor, could resort to the use of this weaponry as a last resort to deter extreme intervention that could secure and hasten the downfall of the dynasty. Facing this situation would require a carefully coordinated and decisive response from the international community to negotiate with the North Korean leader in charge. It is valid to ask then, in the event of Kim Jong-un's death, who would lead the government? Since its foundation, North Korea has been ruled by a single family, starting with Kim Il-sung, who held leadership from 1948 until 1994. He was followed by his son, Kim Jong-il, who held the supreme position from 1994 until 2011. Upon his death, power passed to his son, the current leader, thus consolidating a dynasty that has spanned decades. Kim Jong-un, despite having offspring, faces uncertainty regarding the future of succession, as his children are still very young to assume control of a country. As we explained earlier, official information about Jong-un's descendants is scarce. It is speculated that he has been married since 2009, and some specialists believe he has 3 children, all minors, although these details remain in the shadows. In this context, the figure of his sister, Kim Yo-jong, emerges as a possible heir to power. This woman has gradually gained influence in the political environment, becoming one of her brother's closest collaborators. U.S. officials who have met with the Kims have described a close but hierarchical relationship with her. It is important to note that the Democratic People's Republic of Korea has never had a female leader. Given the conservative Eastern tradition, it is believed that the position can only be occupied by men, given the perceived danger. A tragic example is that of Jong-un's half-brother, Kim Jong-nam, who was assassinated in Malaysia in 2017. Let's take a look at images of the attack. Given the characteristics of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea as a kind of monarchy, it is extremely likely that a member of the Kim family will be designated as successor, as the regime's legitimacy is based on a semi-magical narrative about the divine qualities of the lineage. Any heir is likely to be perceived by external observers as a figurehead lacking political experience. However, it is crucial to remember that this was exactly what was said about young Kim Jong-un when he assumed office in 2011, before later proving skeptics wrong. A totalitarian, enigmatic, and virulent figure is at the helm of one of the nations with one of the largest nuclear arsenals in the world. The exercise of imagining what would happen in the event of a sudden death leaves more doubts than certainties. In this way, we are reaching the end of this reflective episode, but before finishing, we wanted to ask you, what do you think would happen in the event of an unexpected death of Kim Jong-un? How would Western countries and China react? Who would be his successor? We look forward to your responses in the comments section below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss these videos, and we'll see you in the next installments.